innovation, design, revolutionary ideas, the tools we use every day for the propulsion into the future. Great advancements in technology have been made over the course of decades, but only by a few. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, the Wright brothers, Katherine Johnson, Mark Zuckerberg. Those are only some. What if we could change the way our students thought about the world? To be more like these people, to create, innovate, and revolutionize the world.
Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. Benjamin Franklin.
Imagine there was a way to know what you were getting into before you started each class, where those classes were fitted to the personal taste of each student while having the commonality of classes. This would allow for students to explore different methods of interpersonal interaction before entering a less forgiving work community.
For example, Teacher A teaches their class through interactive games, and Teacher B teaches through educational film. The student will then be provided with this information and can choose the class best fit for his/her learning style.
We could create a classroom where there exists a common interest between the students without having a classroom that has students who all think exactly the same. Each class could be immersive without forcing students to become completely submerged in a new subject, but still promoting the exploration and experimentation of new things.
Additional to the new system of enrollment, reformed school systems will have events that teach students about real-world applications and practicality. For example, schools would take students on field trips to learn about the real world, through not only reading about it, but experiencing it.
The idea of reforming education in America is discussed on the daily, but is the idea truly worthwhile? We asked 15 American high school students in the Southwest region about their preferred learning styles. We all learn differently, that's a fact. Our first question to students: if you had to learn the process of DNA replication, how would you want to do it? 75% of students prefer the kinesthetic approach, or hands-on learning. This method of teaching uses models and interactive tools to educate students on a complex topic. 10% of students prefer a more visually inclined approach, requiring illustration of a concept or process. 7% would rather learn via in-class discussion, otherwise known as the Socratic approach many educators utilize today. Another 7% understand a concept best after listening to an instructor and taking notes in class. The remaining 1% prefer other approaches, all valid in education. Our next question: do you prefer to learn individually? 1/3% of students answered yes. Individual discovery is their preferred way of completing a project. The next third of students answered no. Group projects are preferred due to collective feedback and participation. And finally, the last third of students prefer working under a more experienced mentor individually. Exactly 1/3 of students opted for each method, suggesting that preferred learning styles are varied. We then asked students if their favorite subject is in any way influenced by the way it is usually taught. An overwhelming majority answered yes. Their favorite subject is their favorite due to the way it is taught in the classroom, whether that be by educational video, the hands-on teaching approach, note-taking, in-class discussions, or other methods of education. So what does this all add up to? Why should educators care so much? Whether you'd rather talk about DNA replication in class with like-minded peers, play some games that represent its complex processes, build a model of the molecule dividing by yourself or with others, Listen to a teacher talk about it in class with or without notes, depending on your preference. Draw it out on a piece of paper, whiteboard, or whatever else. Or just pull up some videos on YouTube describing the process. Your unique learning style can be accommodated in your pursuit of education given the right system.
The current school system does not acknowledge the human aspect that comes along with being a student. Let's expand our knowledge by changing the way we think about education and the world. Together, let's change education.